Good Saturday afternoon, everyone. Forecaster Josiah Acheampong here with a quick weather update for you this afternoon. Right now, taking a look from our satellite view, we'll notice most of us are dealing with mostly clear skies, although we are starting to see some clouds, especially aloft, try to filter in from our northwest. But overall, it's pretty pleasant out there. One of the last calm and pleasant days we will have as we head into the next couple of days, at least the next 5 to 7 days or so. Taking a look right now at our current conditions here in Amarillo and across the Panhandle, temperature sitting at 90 degrees as of 4:44 p.m. here in Amarillo. We're pairing that with that northeast wind coming in about 10 miles an hour with the dew point sitting at 47. So not feeling as muggy out there, but it is mild. Now, as we head into this evening, it's going to feel pleasant out there for any outdoor activities that you may have, although can't entirely rule out the possibility of an isolated shower developing across the area. But again, I'm not too concerned about that becoming a widespread issue. It will definitely be an isolated issue for sure, especially if you live over portions of eastern New Mexico. Definitely keep an eye to the sky for that. But as you plan out for the rest of your evening, again, we remain mild, cooling down into the 80s as we head into this evening. And as you think about your day tomorrow, much of us will remain dry for the daylight hours, temperatures starting out in the 60s before moderating close to 90 degrees, if not near 90 degrees across a wide swath of the region. But it's when we get later into the afternoon and evening that rain could fire up across portions of the area. Now, here are some of the weather headlines we are tracking today. We have a couple more seasonal days. That's going to include today, tomorrow, even Monday. Temperatures are going to be slightly cooler in the 80s, but overall, it's going to stand out compared to what comes after that. We do have a strong cold front that will sink south, bringing with it unseasonably cool temperatures as well as days of rain with possible flooding concerns with just the sheer amount of rain that we can receive over the next 5 to 7 days. But let's time all this out. Again, the model's picking up on some isolated storm chances later this evening, especially over portions of eastern New Mexico. We clear out, waking up tomorrow around 7 o'clock with some partly cloudy skies, mix of sun and clouds as we begin our day. Temperatures mainly in the 60s, couple 50s sprinkled in there tomorrow morning, especially the farther north and west you are. We head into tomorrow afternoon and evening. The model's picking up on some isolated storm chances firing up across the Panhandle. Temperatures again quite warm, close to that 90-degree mark. Now, as we head into tomorrow evening, our newscast around 10, we could be seeing a quite active radar with storms and rounds of rain trying to make its way through portions of the area. We head throughout the overnight hours, and many of us can receive a soaking rain. As per this model specifically, it's definitely picking up on the amount of moisture that'll be present in the atmosphere at the time, and especially with this lower level, low pressure system moving through, we could definitely pick up a good batch of rain. Now, it kind of retrogrades as we go into the day on Monday with still isolated to scattered storm chances, but we remain cooler. Many of us may struggle to get out of the 70s, maybe even the 60s in some instances as we head into the day on Tuesday, but we will be cooling down Monday night into the 50s and 60s. Now, how much rain are we talking? That's going to be the question. Well, per this model, it's picking up on the possibility as we go from Sunday into Tuesday of us picking up anywhere between, I would say, half an inch up to portions of the northern panhandle and the Oklahoma panhandle, closer to 2 to 2.5 inches of rain. And that's just ending at Tuesday at 8 a.m. We still have Tuesday, Wednesday, and possibly even Thursday to get through some of this rain. Now, taking a look at our flooding concern, it's going to be a lower chance for a wide swath of the area for Sunday, but we do have portions of the Oklahoma panhandles as well as the northeastern panhandles going to be in that medium risk for excessive rainfall. And heading into the day on Monday, there's no change. In fact, we have some more areas, including portions of eastern New Mexico, as well as the northeastern panhandles and easternmost Oklahoma panhandles, going to be included in that excessive rainfall and possibly increased flood concern. Now, as we head into this week, we are looking at that northwest flow aloft, triggering days of storm chances and unsettled weather thanks to that cold front sweeping through. And that area of green indicating where that moisture is kind of lingering around doesn't mean rain all day, but what it could mean is just we have this just unsettled pattern, and that high pressure off to our south is going to be steering that moisture into our area throughout a wide swath of next week. So while it may not be rainy every day, all the time, we are talking about ample moisture to be wrung out. In fact, taking a look at the next 5 days, we saw the model before, our in-house model, but taking a look at the Weather Prediction Center is talking about an area over the next 5 days, the farther south you are, you probably have a lower chance of just getting that 1 inch amount. If you're along I-40 and areas south, you may struggle to hit that 1 inch mark. But areas north, I'm talking portions of Union County. We're definitely talking about portions of the Oklahoma Panhandles, northeastern Texas Panhandles, the Oklahoma Panhandle rather, all possibly picking up in excess of an inch and a half of rain. I do expect this to definitely change. Even since I last looked at it, it's kind of modified itself a bit. But what the Weather Prediction Center is indicating is that there is just so much opportunity for rain to fall. And in fact, again, I showed you before the concern for that flooding potential. However, as before we get there, let's savor our Saturday with these temperatures in the 90s. Today, we're cooling down nicely into the 60s later this evening. Again, can't rule out an isolated storm or some rain over portions of eastern New Mexico, but it's when we take a look at that 7 day tracker that we do have that area of concern for the rainfall. Temperatures today in the 90s, might just fall short of 90 tomorrow. And even Monday, we can kind of savage, but it's when we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, that temperatures will be struggling to get out into the mid to upper 70s. So sweater weather is temporarily here. Don't get too comfortable with it, but it is something we are monitoring as that front sweeps through, and we have that area of high pressure to our south going to be steering that moisture uh, into our area at least for the next 5 days or so. In fact, as we take a look to the longer range toward the end of the week, we still, in fact, keep that rain chance around. So I say that all to say, get your yard work done today or tomorrow morning if you can. Cut the grass, do those errands, because this week you might confuse Amarillo for Seattle in some instances with the dreary, cloudy, and damp conditions we'll be dealing with. It's going to feel more like autumn than it does the end of summer. I hope to see you all for our 6 p.m. show this evening. If not, then our 10 p.m. show. Stay tuned for updates on social media. You can see my social media handles down below: Twitter, Joe ACHWX, Facebook at Storm Search 7 forecaster Josiah Acheampong. As we head into this week, definitely stay weather aware as we deal with those